Technology. My company, again, most of the Grameen companies are focused on people, focused on poor, focused on alleviating poverty. The focus of my company is how we can help alleviate poverty through technology and technology solutions. So success we want to pursue. So you have seen some of the success stories. And in Bangladesh, we have 25 companies that carries Grameen name, from telecom to fisheries. You will see our involvements and our innovations. If you ever come to Bangladesh or study Grameen, you'll find plenty of examples that you can share, you can take with you. So few things we are pursuing. So number one is the mobile-based financial services. The reason is why. Again, if you think about developing world, where we focus, the issues and the challenges are very, very similar. Very, very similar. Think about the financial sector. In Bangladesh, about 13% of our population have access to the regular banks, conventional banks. In the US, that happens to be around 90%. So 87% of our population are deprived of any financial services. On the other hand, if you think about in our country, about 30% of the population have mobile phones. So we are saying, could the mobile be a platform to take some of the financial services? So currently, we are implementing one of our solution in Kenya with our partner in Econet. And we are working with our government so that the mobile financial services are allowed and approved so that we can start our services in Bangladesh. So this is a huge focus for us. And we want to take it further. If you think about the biggest obstacle in Bangladesh or other developing countries for promotion of trades and commerce is the mode of payment. If you're a farmer in Bangladesh and if you're producing vegetables, guess what is your best opportunity to sell that vegetable? You're selling it to the next middleman who can pay you cash, even though your vegetable could have the best price in the other part of the country. You're selling it to the next middleman who is paying you cash. So if you can eliminate that barrier of financial transactions, it will ultimately help that poor producer. In Bangladesh, every single dollar a consumer pays, about 15% goes to the farmer or the producer. Think about it. 85% gets consumed by the middlemen, the logistics, and the inefficiency in the system. Now, could you help with your technology solutions? And I'm saying maybe mobile payment system could be one of the answers. And I'm pretty sure you could come up with other brilliant ideas. Mobile-based healthcare services. Again, we have partnered with companies like Microsoft. So Microsoft, one of the projects we are experimenting with, that if you have a cell phone with a camera capability, and if you hook up some devices, maybe you can convert that with the devices. You can convert that phone to an ultrasound machine. In Bangladesh, you saw the number, 5.4% is the infant mortality rate. And the biggest reason is that females do not have access to the healthcare. Their own healthcare is very expensive. And many of the health clinics in the villages don't have proper instruments for the mothers. It's a huge need for us, right? If you think about in Bangladesh, because of the malnutrition, because of the birth defects, mortality rate, our average age is about 56 today. It's about 20 years less than your average age. That means even though we are investing time, money in the education and training into our population, we are losing about 20 years per person in the global marketplace. And this is a common phenomenon in most of the developing countries. Mobile-based education. I'm very happy to share that we are going to partner with UNICEF to come up with some innovative ideas related to education, again, through mobile. Because in the world, I think you saw the numbers, you heard the numbers, it's between 3.6 billion to 4 billion mobile subscribers in the world. And out of that, about 80% of the mobile subscribers are in the developing world. In Bangladesh, 30% of our population have access to the mobile phones. It is going to be about 50% in 2 years. We are selling about 1.2 million mobile phones in Bangladesh every month. So that's a huge, huge number, huge number. So we are very encouraged and very happy that our partner Instead and UNICEF, we are going to come up with some innovative solution. Again, all of our solutions are not meant to be for Bangladesh. Our focus is the developing world, the poor. Voice sites. Again, think about you have access to mobile phones. In Bangladesh, your broadband penetration is about 0.3%, and your mobile penetration is 30%, right? So the information that you have in the websites, there are plenty of informations. But what is your barriers in developing world? Number one, connectivity. Number two is the language. So even if you provide the connectivity, you provide a device, whether it's a computer, and you teach them how to operate in English environment, you're still going to have significant challenges. On the other side, you have mobile phones. So could you imagine the websites in voice domain only? Could you imagine, instead of me buying a domain, I get a new phone number. Instead of writing a HTML code, I just speak to create my voice site. For example, I get a phone, and I'm writing my voice site or creating my voice site by speaking to it. I'm Kazi, I'm an electrician. I'll fix your fans and lights, and I'll sell you these light bulbs and that fan. As a consumer, instead of writing my domain name, you're going to call my phone number. And you're going to hear that this is Kazi, and I'm an electrician. I provide these services, and I have this product to sell. When you say the word service or the product, it will hyperlink you in the voice domain to take you to my product sites or my service sites. Could you imagine that? It is happening. IBM is our partner for that. Web access through voice, right? So while you can create the voice sites, hopefully fairly quickly, you already have plenty of information into the web. And I'm saying the broadband penetration is going to take time in developing world. So could you create an access for people who has the mobile phone that they can access the websites in the voice domain? So I'm talking about accessing the existing websites through voice. Picking up the phone, dialing a particular number, and saying CNN.com, it takes you to CNN.com. By saying that headline news, it just reads out the headline news. By going to the yahoo.com and saying that mail, it takes you to the inbox and tells you how many new mails you have. Again, all happening in the voice domain. And I think these are happening. Again, IBM is our partner for that. Simultaneous voice translation. Think about it. Think about that I cannot speak English. And you, in your phone, when you're speaking English, you have the option of picking that anything I speak should go or should be transmitted in English. And in my device, I pick that whatever language is coming in, I pick Bengali so that I hear only Bengali. So whether you speak in English or French or German, only thing I hear in Bengali. Could you take this voice barrier, the language barrier out in communication? Do you think that will be another revolution for us? I think it will be. And this is happening. Again, IBM is our partner for that. People-focused technology. So these are the few things we are already doing. But I encourage you, any idea that you could come up with in the energy sector or healthcare sector or education sector that will improve people's livelihood, their income opportunity, education for them and for their kids in the future, I encourage you to come forward.